everyone. Welcome to another episode of Queen City Unleashed. Today, I am with Shevaun Bryan, WBTV news anchor and Emmy award-winning journalist.
Newly.
It doesn't matter. Emmy award-winning
Thank
journalist here on the pod. This is the first time we've got a big-time award winner.
I don't know about that.
This is huge. You are a quarter of the way to an EGOT.
You know, one of my coworkers said that to me. She walked up to me and she was like, "Hey, EGOT." I was like, "I have just the E."
Yeah, look, but that's the start.
I don't have the Game of Thrones. I don't have the GOT.
You are one step closer than the rest of us.
I'm not doing the GOT. We're just gonna stop at the E.
Who knows? All of a sudden, somebody calls you to give a voice background in a play production.
No.
You give a spoken word somewhere. Now you've got the Grammy.
Now I'm on Broadway.
Exactly. I'm just saying. So before we even get started,
Okay.
I have something for you.
Oh gosh.
As congratulations.
Thank you. Little bubbly.
Yes.
Cheers to that.
For you to shake off your balcony or actually drink whatever you want.
Like
but
champagne showers.
yeah, but just wanted to say congratulations. I saw that. And was it a week ago now or 2 weeks?
It was last Saturday. It was a week ago today.
And I remember just being so excited that I'm like, it's not my field, it's not my industry, but I know how big those are. So tell me about this. You're an Emmy award-winning journalist now. What does that feel like?
Unreal. The shock is still very real. The trophy itself just came in yesterday. So the ceremony takes place in Nashville every year. They do it in regions. It's, it's the same statue as what you see for like Hollywood and stuff, but it's obviously for television. And there are categories for evening newscast, weekend newscast, things like that.
Yeah.
And I've been nominated before. I got my first nomination in maybe 2016 and, didn't win that year. And then last year I put in again and I was nominated this year I was nominated again. And this is my first win. And it's just unreal. And we were supposed to go to the ceremony, but ultimately it sold out before we got tickets. Like when you try to travel with the group chat and it never makes it out the group chat, that's what happened with my station. Like a group of us who were nominated, we had some coworkers that went, but there were a group of us that was we had a group chat on Instagram, like, are we getting tickets? Are we not getting tickets? And ultimately, it sold out before we got tickets. So one of my coworkers, former coworkers
how does
now.
it sell?
So much like anything else, there are only so many seats in the thing.
But they wouldn't have a seat for all the nominees?
No, it's not like that, no. So it's just,
interesting.
and also because there's a finite amount of seats and people often bring their families, their whomever. So once they sell out, they sell out. There's nothing reserved because there are a lot of journalists who don't go to the ceremony. They just collect their trophies, just mail it to me. And that turned out to be me for my first win. That wasn't intentional, but so we had a watch party at a brewery out here, and we were nominated as a station for 8. We won 4, and so everybody, we're watching it, and we're like screaming at the brewery, and it was so exciting. And mine was the last award of the night.
Oh, so you're probably feeling all the pressure. Oh, that's watching your coworkers win.
They were winning, and I'm sitting there.
You gotta sit there.
So, and I had 2 nominations this year. We didn't win for the first one, and I had kind of in my brain like, all right, pack it up. Another year, I'll try again another year. And then they're like, in the last category of the night, evening newscast, and the winner is. And there's a video that I posted on my Facebook page, and I'll probably post it to my Instagram eventually. I was actually wearing the same sweatshirt. And apparently it's my good luck sweatshirt, which is why I wore it today.
Okay. You don't need good luck coming to hang out with us.
I'm not used to being interviewed, so yes, I do.
Well, you're okay.
I'm usually on the other side of this.
Okay. All right.
But, and then when they called my name, like literally, well, they don't call your name. They read the name of the entry. And I put the entry in. I named the entry, and yet I forgot the name in that moment. Like I blacked out. And then I saw our logo come across the screen, and everyone around me just jumped up, and they already have their phones out, they're on me, and I just like stood up and was like, like my mouth was on the ground for like what felt like 30 minutes. It was insane. But
oh man.
So to answer, I took the circuitous route, but to answer you, it feels amazing. It's something that you always aspire to do you don't enter journalism to be rewarded. You don't do it for the recognition. You really do it just to tell important stories.
Yeah.
But once you kind of start doing it and your colleagues are winning these awards and you're like,
you see it's attainable for you.
I kind of want one, and to win one, to have them call my name and see this trophy with my name on it and send it to my parents, and they're seeing their last name on it. The Bryan family is seeing the name Bryan on it.
I was going to ask you, what is that like for you and your family? I'm sure we'll get into your background, but parents Jamaican,
Yes,
right?
both of them born in Jamaica.
Okay, both my parents born in Nigeria.
Awesome.
I'm born here. But what is that like for your family? Because I'm sure, like most immigrants, there's a lot of sacrifice from your
Yes,
parents
absolutely.
and the push for education and
The push
bettering
for
yourself.
greatness. Listen,
Yeah, like
West Indian and African parents
oh
know
my
there's a lot of
God.
pressure. But at the same time, my parents did a really good job of balancing pressure with making sure that I never felt like anything wasn't possible.
Yeah.
Nothing was out of reach.
Yeah.
You know, my mom has 1,000,000 degrees. My dad has a high school education. They make the same amount of money. My dad's an entrepreneur, owns multiple properties. My mom's in the medical field. And they've done very well for themselves and my siblings. And they made sure that we knew nothing was out of reach.
Yeah.
Nothing felt impossible. But to have done what I've done in my career, to be a main anchor, you know, my dad's up on the TV, see my dad's a big deal there. You know, it's so funny. Like, my dad is so proud. You know, he's showing all his friends back home in Miami, my newscasts and stuff. And, you know, my brother just shared my Instagram of me with the trophy today. And, you know, my family is just so proud. And it makes, it does something for me because my parents have done so much and they've done so well. So to see them just speechless and proud, there's just no better feeling. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the story, it was it for a specific story, correct?
So the category was newscast. So basically anyone in our region who has a newscast about anything can enter to be considered. And the newscast that we won for was one of the hardest days that Charlotte has seen in a long time. It was April 29th of last year when those 4 officers were ambushed.
Yes.
Incredibly tragic day for the city as a whole.
Absolutely. I work in healthcare and was somewhat,
and I was outside the hospital all day.
Yeah.
I was field anchoring outside of one of the hospitals. That day is such a blur. We had a team at Novant, a team at Atrium. I was outside of Novant, and we field anchored all day. Just as the ambulance, just the craziness of that day. And that's before we really knew the information. But then as the day kind of winds down, the information gets concerned. Chief Johnny Jennings, Mayor Lyles come out and say, you know, we've had 4 officers killed, so on and so forth. You know, it was just one of those days that rattled everyone. Yeah. I mean, I interviewed Chief Jennings at the end of last year, and he told me that's probably the darkest day for CMPD in history. And
yeah, it was ugly.
It was an awful day.
I have friends, mentors that were involved from a healthcare standpoint.
Right.
A lot of this was happening under their supervision, and hearing them recount what it was like.
Just standing outside the hospital, you're just watching all these law enforcement officers from different agencies running in and out of the hospital because you know that that's a brotherhood, a sisterhood that's unshakable. So, you know, so what we won for was the 11 o'clock newscast that night, which when you have a day like that, there's so much pressure to make sure that you recap it properly and do your due diligence in doing so. Because in the moment, it's breaking.
You can miss some things there.
You know what I mean? Because so much information is coming in at once. But the 11 o'clock, it's like you really have to sit down and say, how do we make sure we tell this story with the consideration that it deserves?
For the families, for the people.
Viewers know what's going on, so that the law enforcement family feels heard and represented, so that these families whose loved ones aren't coming home tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just want to do your due diligence and show your respect. And I remember after coming to the station, from the field anchoring and getting the plan for the 11, I sat in front of my computer and really typed out everything I wanted to say. And we did all types of videos of the procession and all these types of things to make sure that the newscast captured not just the factual aspect of it, this is what happened, but also making sure that we gave it space to breathe, to give it the respect that it deserves, the reverence that a day like that deserves, because it's such a hard day. And, you know, it's one of those things where it's a day that I think pretty much everyone in our newsroom, everyone in media in Charlotte is going to remember. Yeah. It's just one of those days. But, you know, for my team, I know that they took great pride in the way that we were able to execute that because we knew the duty that we had to get it right. Yeah. So to get the recognition for it, again, we don't do it for the recognition, of course, but to get the recognition, it's like considering how heavy of a day that is, to know that we executed well means a lot, especially for the producers, the people that you don't see. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? Who are just grinding it out and typing and writing and researching and, you know, going through all of the facts of the day. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I know it meant a lot to the team.
Is that category then more, how a story is told in the news? Was that like a good way
Um,
to think about it?
you could say that. You
Because
could say
it could
that.
be a happy story, yeah.
It can. So
Okay,
there are categories that are for individual stories,
okay,
for a feature or whatever the case might be. For light features, hard features, that's literally what they would be called. But this one was for the whole newscast. This was for
okay,
the 30-minute body of the show.
okay,
So that's everything included from
okay,
good evening, thanks for joining us to good night.
okay,
So
okay.
there are a lot of aspects that went into that show that night. A
Wow.
lot. Yeah. Heavy stuff. But it was
It means you guys turned something very heavy and significant in
mhm.
Charlotte history into something beautiful that can be captured. And I'm sure that I'm sure there's a way of honor for the lives that were lost and the families too.
Right.
That you guys told the story in a way that was thoughtful and intentional and caring. And there's a legacy to that
You
for that
know,
they can look back and remember.
it's one of those things that as a journalist, there's so many we don't know in a story like that. I'm not in front of these officers'
Yeah.
wives. So the least we can do is just do our due
Yeah,
diligence.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, serve the viewer at the same time. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a balancing act on a night like that. But yeah, we were just trying to execute with mindfulness to the best of our abilities.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Uh, I don't know how I almost missed this. You have your Emmy here.
I do have
Can we
my
please see this? I don't know how I got so caught up. Like you have the Emmy. I don't even want to touch the
So
box.
yeah. It is still very unreal.
Oh my goodness.
They come with a little wipe to keep it clean.
Of course.
But yes,
I'm
it's,
like don't even want to get too close to it. Wow.
it is unreal. It is unreal. It really is, and
It's
an
got your
honor.
name on
It
it.
has my name on it and the station name, and yeah,
This is the closest I'll ever get to an EGOT to anything.
it's unreal. It really is.
So how does this work? Can you have can you get other copies like maybe like
Like a
cheaper
duplicate?
yeah, to like share with a family or
No,
something, or you just
no,
get the
they're
one?
one of one. They're one of one. You cannot get duplicates made. You can get actually no, you can't. You can get additional things to represent it.
Okay.
If you want to get something at your desk or something, but
Yeah.
it won't be one of these. Like you
Okay.
can't get. It's not.
Look at this box, man.
I
I'm
know
just not
it's
noticing
so,
this.
It's cushioned and everything. It's
I'll
insane.
touch the cushion part of the
You can
box,
touch
but
the
I don't know. There's something that happens to him, and it's like this
The
guy.
liability, I know.
Yeah, this Queen Tina Alicia's now canceled because
Oh my
something
goodness.
happened to the trophy.
You're
so
fine. You're fine. But
I've got it on
thank you.
camera
It
here. I
does-
didn't touch it, but man, that is
Thank you.
so. Okay, where are you leaving this at home? You're
Yes.
putting this up somewhere.
Yes. I have to figure out where I'm gonna put it. A part of me wanted to give it to my parents, but I kind of want to get more if I can before I give
You
them.
give them the next one.
Like I'm like,
Yeah, give them the next
because
one.
I have coworkers who have multiple, and they're like, this one I gave my brother, this one my mom has, this one my granddad has
Yeah.
this, and God willing, I'll be able to be in that
Oh,
position.
it'll happen. I'm
I
sure.
hope so. I
I'm
hope so.
sure. But yeah, keep that one for your.
Thank you.
With second one, mom and dad, you can figure out which one you want to
You
give
know,
them. But you keep
exactly.
the first one in your crib, so you can. I feel like that's inspiring. Like waking up and seeing that it's like you did that, and it kind of gives you
Yeah.
something to. Now that you've done it again, it's like I feel like it's like winning a title. Like
Right.
you win a ring, that's like okay, now we've tasted what this feels like. You hear those guys talk about all the time. It's like I've tasted what it's like to win a chip. That's all I want now.
Yeah,
Like
now I
and
have
so
to get it
now.
again. You're putting a lot of pressure on me.
I don't feel like I'm putting any pressure that you probably aren't putting on yourself.
That's
Okay, let's talk about Charlotte.
Okay.
If you want, you can, because I
Okay.
don't want to move and then it falls. What brought you here to Charlotte?
So the job did. In news, you have to kind of, typically speaking, start in a small market, work your way up.
Okay.
So I graduated from the University of Miami.
Canes.
Very much a nerd, double major, triple minor. Don't get me started.
Oh. See,
but always knew.
I'm an ACC school too. I don't love Miami, Virginia Tech guy. And,
Yikes. Go Canes. Go
yeah,
Canes.
I don't. It's okay.
Canes.
No.
Canes.
Hokies Hokies. Okay.
Go
Anyway.
Canes. So graduated from the University of Miami. Always knew I wanted to be a journalist. It's funny because I thought I wanted to be in radio. Then I transitioned, thought I wanted to be in sports. That's a whole other conversation. I've interviewed Lebron and Dwayne Wade and all that stuff when I was in college.
Because you're in Miami.
Because I was in Miami.
Oh, what a time to be in Miami.
I was interning at the #1 station in Miami, WSVN, the second year of the back-to-back championships. So I had the opportunity during the Eastern Conference champion. This is about the time that I was interning there. So I was interviewing LeBron and Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade every day, going to the shoot around every day. in the little media gaggle.
Oh wait,
how
you
does
were
it
part
feel?
of the. Oh
How does it feel?
whoa.
Yeah, that was me. That was me. So our senior journalist would be like, you go in, because it's a big huddle.
Yeah.
So they would send me in because I'm the intern. You go in there. And because I'm shorter, because I'm the only woman in the room at the time. So I'm sitting there and I'm under all these big guys. And I'm like, Mr. James, how does,
No way.
And
That
at the
is my
time-
favorite athlete of all time.
That's awesome. Nah, he's like LeBron is, it's hard to argue with those stats. Point
No,
blank
no,
period.
I'm not even saying from winning. I'm not saying just basketball. Athlete, like just
all around.
all sports.
Oh, all things.
sports. Yeah,
Understood.
that's. I feel like I got a solid like top 5, but he's like at the top of that.
He's probably in my top 5. I don't know if he's my favorite, but he's in my top 5.
It's like him.
Serena's in there for me.
Serena.
Allen Iverson's in there for me.
Interesting. I've got Michael
AI.
Phelps in there.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, Michael
Simone
Phelps.
Biles.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to
Yeah.
really pick 5 if you're talking all sport.
All sports. Also, I'm a huge fan of Allison Felix.
I love
her
Allison
whole,
Felix.
Her whole journey. Like I'm
Her
a
journey is
huge,
so admirable.
huge fan of her.
So admirable. And I'm Jamaican, so Shelly Ann, the track runner with the green hair. Shelly Ann, my fellow yardie.
No,
So,
wait.
yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to figure this top
See?
5.
This is a whole other conversation.
Top
see?
5 athletes. Also, I'm a soccer guy. David Beckham's gonna be in there.
Gotta put Beckham in there. Gotta put Messi in there. Shout out to
No,
Miami.
Beckham to me would be, because when I'm saying athletes, it's not like
Just
their
sport.
accomplishments. Like Beckham was bigger than soccer.
Beckham, I mean, there's a
he
movie.
still is.
Bend it like Beckham.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
still
married
bigger.
to Posh Spice. I mean,
Right.
he's
The
he's
fact
the-
that somehow I think now in today's time he's more famous than the Spice Girl that he married.
correct.
Is
I
insane
mean,
to me.
they were invited to Prince Harry's wedding. I mean,
They're royalty, basically.
They are royalty.
Okay, I don't. Anyway, you
So-
were in Miami, sports with LeBron, Dwayne Wade,
Yes,
the
so I
Heatles.
had an incredible opportunity at that time because it'd be like Mondays Heat, Tuesdays Marlins, Wednesdays Dolphins. That's really what the rotation was, and it was
Whoa.
insane to be a college student with this opportunity. Transitioned over to news because you realize that in journalism in general, you generally speaking have to start in that small market and work your way up. And as much as I love sports, I'm very much a tomboy. I have 9 brothers. Again, another
Wait a
conversation.
minute, time out.
See, you decide what direction you want to go. We can
Did
talk
you
about
say
it all.
9 brothers?
9 brothers.
Are
So
you the only girl?
I have one sister who lives in Jamaica, and she's 16 years older than I am. So I'm pretty much the only girl.
Hold on.
Anyway,
So there's 11 of
we're
you?
gonna stay on track. Yes, we're gonna stay on track. There's 11 of
Whoa!
us. So that said, I grew up sports and cars. I
Yeah.
was also a mechanic in college. Another conversation. I'm trying to keep you on. So,
What is happening?
so I grew up on cars and sports, and but I was not an athlete at all. I used to dance in school, cheer in school, stuff
Yeah.
like that, but I wasn't an athlete. But by the time I got to college, knew I wanted to do broadcasting. I thought I wanted to do sports. So, I thought I wanted to do radio. Also used to work with DJ Khaled because he used to do the Drive at 5 at WEDR 99 Jams, a hip hop station in Miami.
In Miami, yep.
So I used to work with Khaled when he did the Drive at 5 with DJ Khaled. And this was about the time that I'm So Hood first came out.
Is he as crazy in
He is,
person as...
at the time, incredibly shy, very bashful, quiet guy.
I miss
and
that
it was
Khaled.
so funny when he would get on the mic and it's DJ. I'm like, you are so, that is not who he is.
He's
away from the
unhinged
microphone.
now.
He's hilarious, but
Unhinged.
but he's but he was very he was a super nice guy. He probably doesn't even remember me. I have a picture with him from way back when I had no eyebrows, when I was like 16 years old. But I would have to dig in my MySpace archives to find that picture. No, listen. Every woman knows the eyebrow struggle. She's nodding. She knows the eyebrow struggle. That's the main glow up is when a woman knows how to do her eyebrows. It's the truth.
Okay. Oh,
But
you
anyway.
said it. Do you remember? So if you're talking about eyebrows, then do you remember? I was talking to a buddy on another episode about
Sure.
2000s fashion,
Oh God.
and we were talking about guys. But one of the ones for women that cracked me up was the matching eyeshadow to whatever the bright colored shirt was.
Yes.
I'm glad we got away
and
from
like
that.
the glitter on the cheeks and the
Yes.
pointy bottom halter tops,
But, like,
and the butterfly clips. in the
Neon
hair.
yellow
What were we
shirt,
doing?
neon yellow eyeshadow. That I just
What a
remember. It was
time.
like, whew, our
Yeah.
parents really let us out the house.
Man, we were living life on the edge, friend. We really were.
That to me, that's the one thing I'll give the younger generations. I'm not some of the Gen Z, Gen Alpha. Some of them drive me a little crazy, but their extremes of dress, I don't
Are
think
not
are
nearly
as
as
bad
extreme, yeah.
as ours. Like
That's
I was
true.
talking about the if you had brothers, I don't know if they do this in Miami, basketball shorts under jeans, like all the
All the
time, in
time.
case you needed to hoop, play
My
football.
my brothers, 100%. They would wear the Jabot jeans with the colored patches on it and the basketball shorts because they'd end up on someone's court every time.
See?
So yeah, it was real life.
So
But
you had your experience in Miami,
yes,
you got to see
a lot.
like you really got to cut your teeth in all the different kind of markets
100%.
there.
So I was literally, I would anchor UMTV, and then I would go do my internship interviewing some Miami athletes in someone's locker room, and then I would go do my job as a mechanic, or my other job as a bartender. Those were my 2 college jobs, and then I graduated. And by the time I graduated, I realized I didn't want to do sports because as much as I love sports, I realized that if whatever sport matters in that market is the sport that you have to talk about with the same enthusiasm that you talk about Miami Heat going to the championship. So if I move to a town, I'm from Miami, so things like hockey are not as big, even though my Florida Panthers are currently the Stanley Cup champions. Woot woot, go Cats. But but generally speaking, hockey, lacrosse, things like that are just not as big in Miami.
Yeah.
But if I move to Madison, Wisconsin, those are the things that are big there.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to imagine jumping into that world, talking about those things and doing a due diligence with the enthusiasm that I talk about basketball and football. So I realized that it's not fair to be a journalist in sports when you don't care about all sports as much.
And it also probably helped in Miami that you grew up probably a fan of
100%.
all of those teams.
So I realized that my perspective of what sports journalism looked like was skewed by being in Miami.
Yeah.
So I realized, okay, news is probably the better path. This is also at a time where there weren't as many women in sports as well. So it felt like, I don't know what this is going to look like.
Yeah.
Will the opportunities be plentiful? Obviously now they are, but at the time it just didn't really look like that because this is 13, 14 years ago now. So I went into news and I started in Biloxi, Mississippi, about an hour outside of New Orleans. Love Biloxi, Mississippi.
Really?
Because so many of my colleagues were going to really small towns, Missoula, Montana, Abilene, Texas.
Yeah.
And I'm like on the Gulf Coast eating shrimp and drinking daiquiris at 23 years old. Mind you, I was making like $23,000 a year, making no money. But I had a great first job experience. From there, I went to Huntsville, Alabama, WHNT, the CBS affiliate in Huntsville. Loved it. Huntsville's a great town. Rocket City, Space Camp is there.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful city. I was there. Then I got promoted to weekend anchor, and I produced that show. So I would work midnight to 8 a.m. I produced from midnight to 5, and then I would be on air from 6 to 8:30. And this is when I'm like 25, 26 years old. My friends are at bars, and I'm just pulling into work.
You're literally on the screen at the bar.
I'm literally just pulling into work. I'm producing, and they're like, we're out. Then from there, I went to Oklahoma City and moved back to Huntsville as the main anchor, and was there for 3 years before I came to Charlotte. And I always knew that Charlotte was a market where I wanted to move. I first came to Charlotte when I was in my early 20s and loved the city, visited the epicenter and all that stuff. And
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But, we'll see what Queen City Quarter is going to be. I'm looking forward to seeing what Queen City Quarter is going to be. But either way, I visited Charlotte when I was maybe 21, 22 and was like, this is a great city.
Yeah.
I loved Charlotte then. I still do. So when my agent called me and said, hey, WBTV wants to talk to you, I said, I want to talk to them too. And it's definitely been a fantastic decision. I have a great work family. So I love Charlotte. I love living here.
It's not like you didn't win an Emmy with them or anything.
I mean,
So, okay. All right. I've got a fun question I started asking people.
Okay.
If you were to describe yourself to a complete stranger in the middle of anywhere.
I already know the answer. How would I describe myself?
Yes.
A multidimensional shiny mess. Yep.
Multi-dimensional shiny mess.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with multi-dimensional.
Unpack that.
Let's start with multi-dimensional.
Yes. So I think I'm multidimensional because that's something so multidimensional shiny mess is something that was kind of given to me by a former colleague who I worked with in Oklahoma City, Scotty G. Hines, who I love so much. Because he always said, like, every time I think I know who you are, you show me something else.
I mean, I'm getting that feeling very quickly in 15 minutes
And
here.
it happens all the time. People are very frequently like, especially because, you see the news anchor, you see, good evening, thank you for joining us. I'm Shevaun Bryan. It's like when you see your teacher at the supermarket, you forget they have a life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, I go to car shows. Oh, I used to be a mechanic. Oh, I love sports more than I love makeup. Like, I think that a lot of people assume that I'm into hair and makeup and I'm like, that's like a
part
uniform
of the
to me.
job.
It's like when a nurse or doctor puts on scrubs. Like it's what I do for work. But Shevaun on a regular day is in, like a tracksuit with some sneakers or combat boots. Like that's how I dress all the time.
Okay.
So because of that, a lot of times people don't recognize me out and about. And or if they do, it's because they've heard my voice, or if they hear me say my own name. You know, like when you're going to pick up food at a restaurant, they say, "What's the name?" And I say, "Shevaun Bryan." They're like,
We've heard that before.
like, oh, wait.
It's in the sub.
Oh, oh, oh.
We literally tested this to see if
Jumping
it would do
around.
That.
But so usually people don't recognize me just on sight. It's usually, we might have to just table that for later. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Multidimensional shiny mess. That's the mess part. But multidimensional comes into play because people often, will assume, people love to put people in boxes.
Yeah.
And I feel like every box that someone has tried to put me in, I kind of burst out of it. I'm a tomboy, but I'm also a tomboy that wears a full beat and hair and makeup every day. I am, I think that I'm a little bit of all things.
Yeah.
And I think that makes life more exciting, so I don't pretend to be any one kind of thing. And what I realize how multidimensional I am because when I meet people out casually who don't know what I do for a living, and I've interacted with them for 5-10 minutes, and then I tell them what I do for a living, there's always a shock. Like, you do what? Because they're seeing the personality and they're like, there's no way that this is what you do. And then on the flip, if they meet me as a news anchor
and then hear about your
and then they talk to me, they're like, wait, this is not what
You're cool. You have personality.
And most news anchors do. The people I work with, the people I have worked with, all of us have hobbies and full personalities outside of doing the news.
Yeah.
But much like, again, seeing your teacher at the grocery store, people just tend to put you in a box and think that you just live one life all the time. And we're all people like everyone else. Yeah. So we all have full lives and personalities.
What's the mess part of it?
I just knocked over your sign. I'm a big kid. I'm very goofy. I'm very unpredictable. Like, people will say to me, for example, like, you must spend so much money on your clothing. And I'm like, I spill things a lot. Like,
Oh, so you're a little bit of a klutz.
When I say I'm a tomboy, like, I mean, like, don't let me eat pasta on my dinner break because I'll be in a different dress at 11 than I was at 6. I'm that person. And I don't pretend like I'm not that person.
Oh, interesting.
Like, I'm not a klutz. Like, I danced for years. I can be graceful. However.
Well, okay, you can be a klutz and also be a good dancer. Like, klutz, I'm thinking the spilling, the fumbling, the thing.
I'm just someone who, I'm the person who will fall and laugh at my own fall.
You have to.
And I think that, like Bugs Bunny once said, don't take life too seriously. You'll never make it out alive.
Quoting Bugs Bunny. That is a first. Quoting Bugs Bunny.
Is that not a good quote, though?
I'm not going to lie, though. I also have the Bugs Bunny Space Jam jersey.
Thank you. And, see, there you go. And on a typical Saturday morning, I'm still watching cartoons. Like, I'm a big kid.
Okay.
Like, people often ask me, like, do you watch, all of the shows that people watch?
Yeah.
I don't watch any of those shows. Not because... I just don't, because when you do what I do for a living, everyone has to find their coping.
Yeah.
Everyone has to compartmentalize to their own ability, just for your own sanity.
Yeah.
Because we talk about dark things.
Yeah,
we talk about heavy things. Very heavy things every single day. And everyone has to find their way to cope with that, to compartmentalize, or else it will literally drive you insane. And I realize that I compartmentalize very well. When I walk out of work, I have to leave it there. I have to, leave it where it is. And I choose to spend my free time doing the opposite of that. Shows about murder, just don't do it for me. I understand the entertainment value. I don't knock it at all. But I realize that that's just not my space.
You're a little too close to it.
I'm a little too close to it.
So then I got to go.
I've had to interview these grieving families. I don't want to watch it for entertainment. But that's just me. Yeah. That's just So me, SpongeBob on a Saturday, sign me up. Krabby Patties for everybody. Let's go. I'm in my mid-30s. Yes, correct. Yep. You heard me.
Bob.
Yep.
Okay, so then I've got a
Rick
good
and Morty,
show that's not
Bob's
like
Burgers.
Dark. It's Did you ever watch Jury Duty?
No.
You should. I feel like you would enjoy it.
I have covered a lot of court cases, so probably not.
No. It's a comedy.
I do love a good
comedy. Have you heard the premise of it?
I'm not familiar at all.
So they take a guy and they tell him that they're filming a documentary about a court case, and he gets selected to the jury.
Okay.
The joke is everybody's actors but him.
Oh,
and he doesn't know this. And they pick one celebrity.
Is it a movie or is it like a reality kind of thing?
No, it's a show, but it was a very fluid show because a friend of mine wrote on the show. They didn't know how he was going to respond. So most of the actors are improv actors. So they create situations.
That's called a setup.
I know it was,
Oh
but
my
it's
gosh.
so they create James Marsden, the actor,
Okay.
they picked one celebrity, and part of the bit to start was I recognize you from somewhere, and the guy was trying to remember, and then he figured out it was James Marsden, but they picked all these like improv actors from around the country and have them, and they're just create like one of the situations like they're waiting for something, and the guy, there's an Asian man there that's teaching him a game from his country.
Okay.
And somehow he's like, and the Asian man is like, it's improv. He's making up the rules.
Oh gosh.
Somehow he lost the game. The Asian man lost the game to the main character, and he's like, I owe you $70,000 now. And he was like, no, 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 you don't need to pay me. He goes, I do, or I'll be dishonoring my family. And he was like, and so it's seeing his reaction to like,
This
no,
is
you
a
don't.
lot. It's sounding like an
it's-
Impractical Jokers, just in a
It is
jury duty setting.
Yes, it is
Okay.
8 episodes. The whole thing. They tell him at the end that it's all, but they create some of the most absurd situations.
Oh my
And at the end,
goodness.
my friend was like, "Luckily, we got the right guy because the problem is we didn't know how he
You
would
don't know how
respond."
someone's gonna react.
But
Yeah.
he truly was that. So the most extreme situations. He was always so graceful and so caring.
Yeah, because
to
a different kind
everybody.
of person. If
I
you
was
tell
like,
me you
yeah,
owe me
for me-
70,000,
well, no, for me, if I'm the person, some of those situations, I'm like, I would not have reacted like that.
Right,
Like,
right,
I'm
right.
telling somebody off, I'm gonna be upset.
Right.
Like, and he was just always like,
very even
hey,
keel and
let's
a
work
gracious
through
person.
it. Yeah,
they're
so
lucky.
I feel like you might enjoy. You will be laughing the entire time.
Or have secondhand embarrassment and discomfort.
That's
But,
also
you know,
part of it. Also
know.
part of it.
You know.
All right. Other things. You said hobbies, and
Yes.
I think it's important for adults to have hobbies.
100%.
Car shows.
Love car shows.
Tell me about your journey as a mechanic and your love of cars.
It's gonna make a lot of sense. So you heard me say earlier, my dad is an entrepreneur. One of his businesses, his main business, if you will, Bryan International back home in Miami, is a car business.
Okay.
He does BMW and Mercedes like part sales and repairs, and it's a kind of all-encompassing thing. And so I grew up at the shop. I
Okay.
grew up learning about cars and, taking phone calls when someone said, I need a muffler for a 1998 318, and me saying, Dad, someone needs a muffler. So I grew up learning about
Yeah.
cars through my dad. And a number of my brothers have worked for the family business. My brother Patrick currently still works there. And so when I got to college, well, even through high school, by the time I was driving, my brothers would take me to car shows and like drag races and all that type of stuff. So that's like, while most girls in high school were going to house parties, I was going to drag shows on a Saturday night. Like that's how I spent much of my high school career.
Whoa.
Because I was very unpopular. I was honestly like kind of bullied. So that's why these moments, especially with the Emmy, is very
Yeah,
full
it means
circle.
something.
Because, there like quick pivot, people often say to me, oh, the things that I always remember about you are your voice and your name. And those are two things I used to get teased about a lot. I used to get teased because, when you're young, you want to fit in.
Yeah.
And I was the girl with the weird name and the deep voice. So, it's like, I'm Ashley, I'm Tiffany, I'm Stephanie, I'm Shevaun. Like, it was like, you just... And there's not much you can do to mitigate that when you're 15,
I'm not laughing
So-
at how
no,
deep your voice is.
but-
It's the exaggeration here.
But-
Just so we're clear, I'm not
Shevaun.
bullying her also. I am not.
I mean, that's so now I take great pride in it now
Yeah.
because
I mean, look
for
where it
my
landed
name,
you.
my name and my voice are two of the pillars on which my career was
Yeah.
built. So those are blessings. I just didn't see it 15, 16, 20 years ago. And
So that made you unpopular. So, and this is the part where you say I get multidimensional. Like,
yeah,
I would not.
There are a lot of layers.
There's
I love
to
video
me,
games. Yeah, all of it.
someone to me who's on TV every day in front of people. This is your face.
Yeah.
Like that is a big part of the product.
100%.
Like that's confidence to me, and I wouldn't assume. And so I guess it can also come from growth out of
Yeah, for
situation.
sure, for
But in my
sure.
mind, I'm just like, oh, this is somebody who's had confidence from like day one, and who's
No,
always
so
just had it.
I think a lot of people assume that people who are in news are like show business types, like we're here, and honestly, that 9 times out of 10 is not the case. More often than not, I mean, not to say that there aren't people in the business like that, but a lot of the people get into this business for reasons that have nothing to do with their face being a part of it.
Yeah.
I got into journalism truly for the storytelling. I've gotten the opportunity to tell some incredible stories, to help people to, tell a story and then they get results in a couple of days. Like those are the things that move me. The fact that I've ascended to this point where now people know me for my face, for my, that's almost a side effect, but that
Yeah.
was never the goal,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. I not to say I wasn't like a shiner kid in the house with my family, but out and about in public, I think I was very bubbly as a child, but you know those middle school to high school years when things get sticky and
Treacherous.
you know
Middle school.
it's when treachery is
Treacherous.
afoot. It's when treachery is afoot. So by the time that I was the kid who, you know, I got teased for what I call the family forehead, for speaking super clearly, for having a deep voice, having a weird name, for everything, because you know how kids are. We just
Oh,
just you
as
know.
dark as I am, my and it'd be my boys that look just like me. I'd show up from soccer practice and like
And the
we
names would be so brutal.
oh my god.
I'm
Well,
sure.
as dark as I am, they'd be like, "Hey, the worst one." And this was like my own friends. They're like, "Did you just take a white Sharpie and write the check mark on your leg for your socks?" And I was like, "Oh, that's
That's
crazy."
rough.
And that's like
I'm not gonna laugh. That's rough.
that's, like
I'm gonna let you laugh at that. I'm not gonna laugh at
it's
that.
okay. And again, these are
But
guys that I still like. These are some of my best friends now. But like, they're like, "Man, you so dark. We can't like. We'd go camping." It's
oh
like a
gosh,
random. That's like a random thing that people like.
I
You
do
camped.
like outdoor stuff. But
So I would go camping 3 to 5 times a year.
yeah,
And we'd get out there, and as it'd get to night, the jokes start flying. They're like, "Oh shoot, Shay, smile real quick so we can see where you are."
I'm not gonna laugh at that
And
either.
I just had to. I also grew up. See, and here's what helps me. I grew up in a house where anybody could get these jokes.
That's
Like
fair.
my own mother. We
Your
turned off the
mom used
lights.
to roast you.
My mom told me the lights went out, and she goes, "Oh no, I done lost my firstborn." And I'm like, "This is insane! Like you're my mother." And like she would say things like, she was talking about. I was being funny one day. I'm like, I feel like I'm a young Denzel. She goes, "Baby, you got a face only a mother can love." And I was like, golly.
Mother.
Oh yeah. So I learned.
What are you, Yoruba?
Mhm. So I got tough skin out the gate. So by the
Goodness
time I got
gracious.
outside and my boys were roasting me, I'm laughing and I'm giving them new jokes. I'm like, I mean, I heard that one before. How about this one? And it's like,
Okay, you're
that's
better than me. Those years for me were
I
not.
also
just-
feel like it's
but
different for
I
girls.
was about to say it is different
girls
for girls.
and guys is different. Like
That's
girls
true.
say the jokes and they're trying to hurt you. The guys say it and then you can turn around and flip it on your
That's
boy
true.
and then it's
'Cause
like
my brothers would
everybody's-
roast each other.
Yeah, everybody's just
Yeah.
laughing. Girls say it to like, I mean, they trying to like. they're
Yeah,
trying to cut.
it's daggers at that age. So I wasn't super popular as a kid. All that stuff. Went to 2 middle schools, 2 high schools. It was a whole thing, and then I went to college, became a Delta. Kind of really started to come into my own skin. Really at like, I mean, you start to really see the world more clearly by the time you're 16, 17. But really start to get comfortable within my own
Yeah.
skin, and maybe freshman year of college. And so to your point of, I would just imagine that journalists are so confident. I think that people oftentimes misconstrue or mistake confidence for comfort. You just reach a point where there's an acceptance and you're like, I realize that I'm not for everyone and everyone doesn't have to be for me, but the best that I can do is just be my best self and just try to put out good and be be who I can, and so when you grow up in that, by the time you go to college, I was blessed to have sorority sisters, line sisters who really embraced me and encouraged
Yeah.
me, have mentors and do these internships and realize there was a lane for me to succeed that now when I go home and I see the people that used to bully me and they're like, "Oh wow, you're on TV?" Yup.
There's
And
a
I don't
little bit, there's a little bit where it's like I try to balance it because I got a lot of comments sometimes about like, oh, and I don't know if you felt this. It's different having immigrant parents that even in my own community with other African Americans, there was this whole like, oh, you think you're better because like your parents aren't from
That's a
here,
very common
or you
discourse,
talk
yeah.
and you talk different, like, or you talk very proper. And I'm
Right.
like,
I used to get teased for that,
I was
too.
like, my parents just don't allow me to say anything that I want at home. So I was like, I don't think it's proper, but like this is just how I talk. And finding that with time, and then it's like I go back now, and I think for me it's the ones I appreciate the most. There are you were making jokes, now look at me. But the ones I appreciate the most are the people who come back around and will be like, "Hey, we're proud of you."
Right.
And like that to me,
100%.
like, and this is a personal thing. I wish more people told their people, that
That
they
they
were
were
proud
proud
of
of them.
them.
100%
Because
agree.
saying you're proud of someone can say a lot. Like when some of these guys say that, or like, we're proud of you, like we see you doing your
Right,
thing.
right, right.
Underneath all of that, I feel like there's sometimes like apologies of just like
Right.
there's some healing in like, hey, whatever
One,
has happened
I
in the
know exactly
past,
what you mean.
we just know that like we see you and we're proud of you.
Right.
And it's things that I have also had to learn to do for others. That it's like, I got to see a friend over the holidays that I haven't seen in years, but our
Mm-hmm.
family's very close. But
Mm-hmm.
he and I are the oldest, so we went to college and we're just never around.
Right, 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 right.
And they were having a party, and I was like, I'll go, but the main reason I'm going is to see him, just so I can tell him that like I'm really proud of like
Right,
what he's doing.
right.
And like that felt great to be able to like say like, hey man, you're
Like, I
you're
see
killing
you.
it.
I
Like
see
you're
you.
killing it. And I
And this week has been a lot of that for me because this week has been, because I haven't like posted about the Emmy. I posted it on my story, but I haven't like made a
yeah.
post. So there are people who might have missed it. And then when I got the trophy yesterday and I posted it, it's just been amazing from last weekend to now, seeing people who I haven't even spoken to in years that are like, I've been watching your career and it's so great to see you get to
Yeah.
this point. And you realize how many people have been paying attention and how many people are rooting for you. I mean, my college professor wrote to me today, Professor Julby, Ed Julby. I had an amazing trifecta of professors at the University of Miami, and one of them wrote to me today, like, congratulations. And I'm like, I couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah.
And he has helped so many now journalists who are on CNN, on Fox News, on no matter what what you watch or whatever, whether it's local news, sports, national news. I have so many college classmates that are killing it out here. And it's amazing to see him keep up with all of us
Yeah.
and to see him say, congratulations. And I'm like, man, you were the one who gave me a C. You know what I mean? He was like my hardest professor, but Professor Julby is, without him, I wouldn't have been at this point. So to not only hearing that full circle pride from people who doubted you or were mean to you, but also the people who you don't even realize are watching and they take the time to say, I see you.
Yeah.
And that recognition is so, so, so big. I think the last year has taught me a lot about just like gratitude and just being expressive about appreciating the people in your life, the things they do for you,
Yeah.
no matter how big or small of a role that they play.
I have gotten to the point where like one of the things that I had to accept early, like you're talking about that high school, and I completely agree. 16, 18, you're starting to figure it out. College is where you really start to like really, I think, finding your
100%.
tribe and then finding yourself. And then that 22 to me, like 25 is really like, okay, now I'm getting really comfortable
Right.
with who I am.
Right. You
And
go out in the world and you kind of,
yeah,
yeah.
one of the things for me that is like, I do wear my emotions on my sleeves. And it used to be like, oh, that's cheesy. And I'm like, I'd rather be known as cheesy, but the people
it's
around me,
authentic.
but the people around me know that I love them, care about them, and I'm proud of them,
100%.
than to not express these things to people. Like, I'm the person that when it's your birthday, like we're close friends, you're getting a phone call or like a long text of like, I'm proud of you for this. I've seen you
Right.
do it.
You're giving
Because
people
like,
their flowers while they're
yeah.
here.
And that was something that I think, maybe last 18 months that I started to think about. It's like, I don't want, there have been some family friends that have passed, and I'm like, I don't want anyone to go
And not know.
and not know exactly
100%.
how I felt about, and that's not everybody, but it's like the people that,
The
your
people
people,
that matter, right.
your
Your
people,
village.
like, I don't want them to not know.
100%.
And I am grateful, like even my boys, like, and it was an interesting transition that I think all of us were going through this. But out of nowhere, I mean, and these are, my boys are guys that I've been friends with since like some 5, 6 years old. It's like 5 of us, 5, 6 of us. And they're like, we hang up the phone now. Like we all say I love you on the phone. Like, and
I love
as
that.
as guys, that's like not a very common thing.
Correct.
But it wasn't a conversation that was had, but it was like we all kind of got to this realization that like, you're my brother, I care about
Like,
you,
I
I
love
love
you,
you.
man.
And like,
Yeah.
and it's said and it's meant, and it's like we're showing up for each other. And I'm like, yeah, if something happens now, I'm not gonna have the regret of like,
I didn't tell them.
he didn't know that
Right.
like I loved him, and
Right.
and so I'm like, this is who I am. I was
Right.
like, I'm gonna tell people, I want you to know that
That's
you're
so
important to
important.
me. I want you to know how you've impacted my life, and that way you never have to guess.
Right.
You never have to wonder.
You're 100% right. And that's something that, like, to your point, how you said the last 18 months, that's something that has become so real for me. Like I have a really good friend. He's actually a sneaker influencer, David, sneaker fetish on all of the Twitter and
Oh, okay.
Instagram and all
All
stuff.
right.
And he and I talk a lot. We have long conversations about giving people their flowers and like acknowledgement and gratitude and things like that. And through conversations with him, like it's always amazing how being open with someone can make you see so much from different perspectives and make you reflect back on your own. So like my brother told me this morning, like, Chef, I'm so proud of you. I love you. And again, I have 9 brothers. And we were rough and tumble growing up.
Yeah.
Like I was one of the boys, like FUBU overalls, cornrows, like scabs and stuff. And it's just so interesting how, going back to conversations that David and I would have, like we talk so much about like how important it is to see in other people, even if you don't, to allow people to pour into you, because sometimes we can shy away from
Yeah.
people pouring into us because a lot of us aren't really used to it being
Yeah.
expressed. My brother saying he loved me today, like that's a new phenomenon. Like my
Really?
brother, we were a bunch of kids, and for all intents and purposes I was one of the boys. We weren't really
Yeah.
very expressive in that way. And like David and I often talk about the importance of receiving it and also giving it, being willing to tell people how much they mean to you, things like that. And that has transcended that conversation and allowed me to be more expressive to my friends, to my relatives, even relatives who you might not every day say I love you to, my sorority sisters, people like that, to just randomly drop those moments of, I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing. I love you so much. Like keep going, because those moments of encouragement mean so much. And to your point, when you talk about having people that that have passed away, I literally talk about people that pass away all the time. And it's like you really realize the fragility of life.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to miss out on those opportunities to make sure that you are pouring into people. And not only
Absolutely.
pouring into people, but allowing people to pour into you.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I've been historically kind of bad about.
The other one is also going back to people. Something that I've been learning and giving gratitude to people who have impacted
Right.
impacted you. There was I thought, so when I went to Virginia Tech, I thought I was going to be a physical therapist. So it was exercise science. And then junior year, I was taking a class, Professor Williams, great guy, loved him as a professor. I liked class. I didn't like the homework. I didn't like the tests, and I stopped enjoying the material. But I would go because I thought he taught in a way that was really engaging.
Yeah.
And so I would go to office hours and just kind of build a relationship with him. And one day I told him, like, I don't think I can keep doing this. And it was him as a professor that was helpful and was like, have you considered not going to physical therapy school? And both my parents are physical therapists. And there wasn't a pressure for them. I wanted to do it because I was like, they love their careers and I could be happy. And he was like, maybe you don't do this. And so I ended up taking his class, senior seminar. I had him, and it was great. And so that's when I started to think about healthcare admin. But I graduated and I didn't see him for years. He wasn't one of the professors that like I was texting or I enjoyed him when I had his class, but if I didn't have his class, I wasn't going to see him.
You weren't in contact, yeah.
And there was one professor though that she and I have always been in touch. So when I go back to tech, I'll see her. Well, one day I think it was either last year or end of 23, his door was open. He's a couple doors down from the other professor I was going to see, and I popped in, like, hey, Dr. Williams, and he was like, hey. And it was taking a second for him. He was figuring it out. I was like, I just wanted to come by and say thank you for some advice you gave me. And he was always a funny guy. He goes, oh, God, what did I tell you? He's like, I hope I'm not in trouble. And then he goes, oh, yeah, okay. He's like, yeah, I definitely remember you. And he was like, he said, what was the advice? I was like, you helped me make it okay to not go to PT school. I was like, now I'm in healthcare admin. Now I'm doing all these things. These are filling the gap of my life of the last 5, 6, 7 years.
Right.
And he was like, wow, like you're really doing well for yourself. But for me, it's like getting to say thank you to him. There are people at Tech that at one point I was able to like figure out there were like 10 faculty staff at Virginia Tech that like significantly impacted who I was from start to end.
Right.
And so I just started reaching out to all of them just to like, hey, or if I saw them like, this was the impact you had on me, and this is the dividends that I'm seeing in my life now because of an opportunity you gave me. You helped me do this, which helped boost my confidence, or you gave me this opportunity. I started to think about this topic differently, and now this is where it all is in my life. And I think I fill my own cup getting to give things to other
Right.
people, because it's like
Right.
it's a reflection of like in the process I'm reflecting on how far I've come, what I've learned, who I was, who I am now, and then being able to say thank you. It's like they
Yeah.
know.
Right.
Like
Right.
they know. I think that's
It
important.
it feels so good to pour in other people. It really does. I know exactly what you mean.
So somehow we got to this from car shows, which is what the beauty of this.
Multidimensional.
Yes, mess. I'll adopt that
Shiny
here.
mess.
Shiny mess.
Thank
Shiny
you.
mess. Okay.
Don't forget the
So
shine.
other things you do in Charlotte. You're going to
Yes.
car shows here.
I have not been to any car shows in Charlotte.
Wait a minute.
Funny
Why
enough.
not?
I don't know. It's something I often do when I go home. So it's not that I am not willing. It's just, it's something I often do when I go home to Miami and stuff like that, or when I'm
So
traveling.
then, what are your hobbies here?
My number one hobby, as everyone who knows me knows, is traveling. So it's nothing
Ah.
against Charlotte, but I'm quick to get on a plane.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I just came back from the Black Rodeo. Never been to a Black Rodeo before, but went to the Black Rodeo like
Where
3
was
weeks
this?
ago. That was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Might be going to another one in Dallas soon, just randomly. My
I just
sorority
went to
sister and
professional bull riding for the first time.
Isn't it cool?
It's a little insane.
It's insane. But the thing is, what I love is to answer your question about what are my hobbies, I love stepping into a world that's not my world. Point blank. I love, because there's so many things that people do every Tuesday night, and you're just like, y'all do this all the time. I've never seen this before. I love that. Like, I love
Yeah.
stepping into those spaces and seeing the people that like this is their jam, and I've never seen it before.
Oh, the excitement.
And I'm like, I love watching people just do their thing.
Yeah.
Like, even growing up, like, I can't skate at all. My brothers can. So one time I went to the skating rink in Miami, and you're seeing the skaters with the
Yeah.
coordinated.
Oh yeah,
pow,
the
you know.
dances and everything.
And I'm sitting here like, y'all practice. Like, like
It's
y'all get together and leg
coordinate.
up and clap. And I'm just like, this is amazing, because this is a whole world 10 minutes from my house that I didn't even know existed. So the Black Rodeo was similar. I mean, I've been to a rodeo before. I've been to one rodeo in Oklahoma when I used to live there. And then my sorority sister, who's from Philly but now lives in Dallas, was like, let's go to this Black Rodeo in Tulsa. So I flew to Tulsa, Oklahoma, bought a denim jumpsuit, a belt with a longhorn on it, a hat, some boots, the whole thing.
There are a few things.
If you're
that
gonna
I've
do it.
No, there are a few things that I've said that I will never become a part of my wardrobe. Cowboy
Okay.
boots. One of them.
Honestly, I never thought they would, and everybody's like, they're so comfortable. Now that I have some,
No,
I get it.
Not doing it.
I like it.
I'm very much a sneakers guy. I enjoy just any kind of sneaker
I
to
get
wear.
it. I get it.
You're not gonna catch me in cowboy boots. I will never have one of those big belt buckles. It's just not gonna happen.
I love my belt buckles.
Yeah, and see, good
I
for
plan
you.
to wear it
And
again.
you know what? We talked
I
about
bought
being
3 pairs of
authentic.
flare jeans. I plan to wear all of them. Like, I'm
And I
going
love
to
that for
be
you.
rodeoed out.
I love that for you.
I get it.
And that's the bull riding we went to though. I've watched bull riding
On
like
TV.
on TV because like all the other sports are done and it's like it's something on TV.
And it's engaging. Like, if you catch it, you're watching.
Yeah, but
if I'm in
in
a sports
person,
bar and I'm like, wow,
in person, and there are people
it
that
makes
are
my
cheering.
neck hurt just watching it.
My back. We saw a guy get flipped over the bull.
Yep.
And he's coming down, and then the bull is going up into his back.
That's about
and he's
right.
just laid out on the ground.
That's about right.
And I was telling my parents, they're like, so you start to cheer for somebody? I was like, no, you're cheering for all of them. I said,
Yeah.
because they're all crazy enough to get on this bull.
Correct.
So by the time they get past 5 seconds and they have to make it to 8, I'm just hoping poor guy gets there.
Correct.
At this point, they get to 8, and then this is me and my grad school friends. We're out there for my birthday in Salt Lake. And
Oh, I love Salt Lake City.
most of us hadn't been. I think 1 or 2 had been before. And so they're enjoying watching our
Watching you.
reaction.
Yeah.
And the rest of us are like,
Yeah.
what is this? What is happening?
Yeah. Like, so once you step into another world like that and you see the passion that people have for things that are just so far out of your own realm, I love that. I absolutely love that.
But hold on.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about traveling,
Sure.
but we got to get you some hobbies here in Charlotte.
I think that the main
Like, what do you do for fun? Let's not say hobby.
everything?
What do you do for fun?
I love trying new restaurants. Like, I'm quick to try a new restaurant.
Okay.
Like, shout out to Axio Charlotte and people like that. Like, I'm quick to
Okay.
to run out and try whatever they're
So
talking
what are some of your
about.
favorites?
Ooh, that's hard.
Casual,
I kid
fancy.
you not. Listen, I kid you not. I have a list, a very, very, very long list, categorized by type of restaurant that so many of my friends who are Charlotteans have been like, send me your list, because my list is thorough. So literally, I could go category by category. But some of my favorites, I love Cajun Queen. That's probably the first one that comes to mind. Love Cajun Queen.
Okay.
I love Thai food, so I love Thai Taste, Rayleigh, DJ,
Rayleigh's my spot.
Basil, and Uptown. Like, I love Thai food.
We were in Thailand and got to eat for our anniversary and got to
Amazing.
eat.
I've never been to Thailand, but I have been to Bali. But
Thailand.
I want to go to the Fifi Islands. Like it's on the list.
It's fantastic.
I've heard.
Fantastic and cheap.
Yeah, it's insane. Don't get me started.
Well,
So,
we'll get to travel.
We'll get to travel. Hold on, I can talk about
so
travel
okay, Thai
but
food.
I love North Italia. I love
Okay.
oh my gosh, I love Lawrence Caribbean. You know, I'm Jamaican. Lawrence Caribbean's probably my favorite Jamaican restaurant in town.
Okay, that's good to know.
Love Lawrence. Lawrence
Okay.
Caribbean, they see me often.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
makeup, no makeup, they see me like
Okay.
maybe once a week. I'm
Okay.
in Lawrence Caribbean. I think their jerk chicken is the best in town, bar none.
Oh,
For
that's
sure.
high praise.
That's the
From a Jamaican in
from a
Miami. That
Jamaican.
is high praise.
Personal opinion, Lawrence Caribbean has the most authentic. I mean, I've had a lot of the other restaurants, and I think they're all good in their own ways. It's not that, you know, but to me, when I think of what jerk chicken tastes like to me, the way I understand it tasting back home in Miami, back in Jamaica, Lawrence Caribbean is right there.
All right.
Gosh, what are some of my favorites? I have so many favorites, to be honest with you.
If
I
you're-
love a good steak, so all of the steakhouses, really. Like, I love Beef and Bottle. I love STK. I love Steak 48. I love Oak. I love all of them. Like, I just like food. Chima.
Can you
ooh.
please explain? One of the things I try to keep on the podcast is
Sure.
positive, but I'm curious. Could you explain your fascination with Beef and Bottle? Because we went and I don't get it.
Then it's just not for you.
Right. And so that's why I'm trying to understand
I think-
what you went. Is it the steak? Is it the ambiance?
It's the steak. For me, it's the steak.
Did we just order the wrong steaks?
Give it another chance.
We went and had two very different steaks, and I'm like, I've made better steak at home, and I don't think I'm an expert steak maker.
Well, we're being positive. Just give it another chance. We're not going to knock an establishment like Beef and Bottle. It's been in Charlotte way too long.
Oh, no. I love it. On this podcast here, we champion the OGs.
Give it another chance.
We'll see.
Just give it one more chance.
We'll see.
I like Beef and Bottle.
Okay. Chima's
amazing.
Goodness. Yeah, dude. And
Chima.
also, SDK, we went for our anniversary 2 years ago.
Mhm.
Really good
Really
food.
good. And you know, a lot of them, these are chains, of course, like Roots
Yeah.
Chris. But and I've had them in every city, including here, Morton's, Roots Chris. I've
Yeah.
had them all since I was back home in Miami. But I mean, I just love a good steak. I very rarely have it, but that's definitely something that
Okay.
I always love.
Do you enjoy adult beverage?
I do.
Okay. All right. So cocktails.
Yes.
Bars, spots, wine bars.
Me and wine are sometimes, but I do love 60 Vines for wine.
Okay.
You know, I love the way that they have it set up where you got the little paper menu with the little semicircles for your wine glasses and you can try the flight. Like,
Yeah.
I love the way they have that set up and their food is really, really good. Do I have favorite cocktail bars? I wouldn't say I have a favorite. In terms of ambiance, I love Merchant and Trade, of course, because
Yeah.
when I moved here, told people I was from Miami, everyone's like, "Oh, you gotta go to Merchant and Trade. It's so Miami," and I get it. Like, Merchant and Trade is lovely.
Yeah.
But in terms of like sheer whose cocktails do I love, probably my favorite cocktail bar for the drinks is probably Dram and Draught in South End. It's right next to the beer garden, the big green.
Sycamore?
No, the beer garden on
Oh, yes. Yeah.
next to where the Great Worst
Yes.
used to be.
Around the
next to-
corner from Uptown Yoke.
Right, exactly. On
yep.
the front side of
Yep,
the
yep.
Uptown Yoke building. Dram and Draught it's a very low-key spot. The bartenders there are like craft bartenders.
Really?
This is not a cranberry and vodka bar. This is a place where they gave me such a great variety, such great explanations of things. They are phenomenal.
Artists.
Yeah, those are mixologists. Of course, I love Fairweather and gosh, the name is escaping me now. The place right next door to it that you order, they don't have a menu. You just tell them what you want.
Oh, I love those kind of places.
And Idlewild, that's the one. Idlewild is
Yeah.
probably my favorite.
In Noda.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right next to Fairweather.
Yeah, those
'Cause
places
they don't
are
have
fun.
a menu. You just tell them what you're feeling, what kind of spirit you're in the mood for. And I have never had a bad drink at Idlewild. That's a great cocktail
Yeah,
bar.
I enjoy getting to watch them cook, like
I like
do their
watching them
own
get
thing.
excited about it.
Yeah,
Because I
they're
tell
like,
them what I'm feeling, and you see the glimmer in their eye, and they'll be like, "Psh,
yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's
And then
a,
they serve it to me, and I'm like,
that's a
I
fun
know
feeling.
This is gonna be great.
Okay, so I'm really trying to hone in. You said you like to eat everywhere.
Yeah, I love food.
You and some girlfriends are getting dressed up,
Yep.
going out.
Yep.
What are the top places you and your girls are throwing out to go eat, go drink?
goodness.
Like
I
a
mean,
night out, like y'all trying to spend some
oh,
money.
like for the evening.
Yeah, you're trying to spend some money.
Well, an easy go-to is always going to be the 4-story building in Uptown, where you go to Saku, you go to Havana, you go to Dahlia's, you go to Novelty House.
Okay.
One-stop shop. Like,
Really?
you know, you
I've
can't
never
go
done
wrong.
it like that.
Oh, please. You have the small plates. You get you some yakitori at Saku. Then you go up to Havana Smoke, get an old-fashioned. Their old-fashions are really good there. And then you go to Dahlia's and like kind of hang out. Dahlia's is beautiful. Then if it's a nice weather day, go up to Novelty House and you just ride the night out at Novelty House. Oh, 100%.
A one-stop shop. Okay.
That building is brilliant.
I was just over there. It was just over. That is interesting.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a
okay.
great. That's an easy choice there for sure.
Okay, so you've been in Charlotte 3 years.
Yes, April will make 3 years.
Because of the news and the stories you cover, I feel like you
Mm-hmm.
have a really unique perspective on the city. What is something that you think is underrated about Charlotte, being from a much bigger city in Miami, lived in other places? What do you think is something that's underrated about our city?
So this is going to be an interesting answer to this question. So I've lived in 4 states now, and I think that something that I love so much about Charlotte is that I feel like, generally speaking, people are happy to be here. I feel like it's a city of transplants. It's a city of people that chose to move here. And of course, people will jokingly complain about the traffic, the whatever, like, you know. But in
Move
the
to
grand
DC and
scheme
check
of
out
things,
traffic.
move to Miami and talk to me about traffic. But the fact of the matter is, you know, and not to say that Charlotte doesn't have it, but, you know, but either way, this is a city that feels, I hate to say it, but positive. Like, on a good weather day on Tryon Street in Uptown, people are just out for the sake of being out.
The rail
People are
trail
just walking
bustling.
around with the kids and they're taking pictures in front of the statues. And I have been to a lot of cities. There aren't that many places where you feel like the people that live there have that, where they just are happy to be in the city where they live. Charlotte's not perfect, no place is. But, you know, I just feel like this is a city full of transplants who are like, Charlotte makes the most sense for me, and I'm going to enjoy my time here. I feel like people here are, generally speaking, happy to be here, pretty positive. You know, so I live in Uptown. I bop around a lot in South End Plaza, you know, Noda, things like that. And then I'll every now and then venture down to South Park and Myers Park and
You gotta
University.
get you out to the west side of Charlotte.
I really bounce around everywhere. I really do.
Okay.
But I think that I just feel like when I'm, especially, and truly, this is a city that comes alive in good weather. So I love spring and summer in Charlotte, and even fall. Spring, summer, and fall in Charlotte.
We are good from March to like the first week of November.
100%.
Like, we are
the
good the
festivals,
entire-
the food trucks, the people love to be outside and just take in a day
Oh,
in
yeah.
the Queen City. And that's very much how I am. Like, my mother used to always make fun of me because she's like, you're not make fun, but she used to always point out, you're somebody who's miserable if you're in the house on a good weather day. If it's nice outside and I don't have anywhere to be, I'm itching. I'm a
tell you-
seize the day kind of person.
Let me tell you, the biggest adjustment in my marriage was that. Because I grew up, I was a competitive soccer player. Practice 3 days a week, game Saturdays and Sundays.
So you like being in the house when you have the chance to be in the house?
Well, I'm okay with there being good weather and being in the house. I'm okay with the balance because I would always be out doing stuff that like I'm able, and it was a thing we had to learn that my wife would start, like, if it was nice out and I was
She's
just
looking
like,
for something to do.
well, she would start to get cranky with me, and I'm like, what is going on?
Because she
with you?
feels trapped.
And she was like,
You
I
have to
want
free
to
the
go do
butterfly.
something.
You have to free
right.
the
and,
butterfly.
And so we got to the point, I'm like, you do realize you can go out without me. And she's like,
But
you know what?
she married you.
Oh, right. So we got to the point where she was like, all right, I'm going to go do stuff for me. And then I also had to understand, I'm like, okay, the weather is nice. And then moving to Charlotte, I think helped because when we first got married, it was COVID. So I felt a little differently about it. Now, weather's nice. Sometimes I'm looking at her, I'm like, want to get outside? You want to go somewhere?
Yeah.
So that was something that I had to learn about her, that she's just like, she wants it, because college is different. You're outside all the time
All the
in
time.
college. Like, you got to be walking places.
Yeah, you're literally walking
and
class.
We've been together since then, and then we're a long distance, so it was different. So
Right.
like once we were like together every day, I'm like, she's like, no, if it's nice, I need to be out. And I call her like a sun child. Like
I'm literally like that too.
she will
I
find
tell
a
people
spot
all
in the
the
house
time,
and lay.
I tell people my friends hear me say this all the time. I get my powers from the sun. I tell people that all the time.
If I need to find her in the house and it's nice out,
Find the sunny spot.
like a cat. Like a cat, this girl will find the one spot on the bed.
She's gonna move her body
Literally,
to the streak of sunlight
she'll
in the house.
be diagonal across the bed, laying in the sun. And I'll walk in, and she'll have the biggest smile. She's just like,
She's
hi.
happy.
And I'm like,
I'm like that too.
You're
I'm
hilarious.
the same way. I completely understand. Like, when I first moved to Oklahoma, I distinctly remember this is when my mom said that to me because I didn't have a lot of friends in Oklahoma at the time, and Oklahoma is a pretty dry place, and more often than not, like you don't really have a lot of cloudy days.
Yeah.
So I would look outside and the sky would be blue, and I'm like, I don't have any friends to go out with. What do I do? Because I needed to just be out enjoying it, and that's something that, to answer your question, is that I love about Charlotte. I feel like there are a lot of people who are that way.
Yeah.
That love to be here, love to be out, love to just take in these days. And as a seize the day kind of girl, Charlotte's my kind of people.
See, interesting. The whole seize the day thing. I am my hot take about the seize the day.
I hate hot takes.
I don't think it's that hot. It's my take. Maybe it's not hot. It's Shay's take.
Okay.
I think that on the weekends, I am not a seize the day person because we bust our butts Monday through Friday to work.
You want to rest.
And so if I want to rest and be a bum on the weekend, I tell my friends, I don't want any judgment. If I'm in college, I used to be the king of sleeping till 12 on a Saturday.
I am incapable. And I get off at midnight.
And they would be like, don't you feel like you just wasted the day? I'm like, waste. I said, one, I also stay up later than all of you. But what are we doing? You got up, you went on a walk. I was like, whatever you do to fill your cup, but doesn't mean you're more productive. As long as we're all getting good grades here, we're taking care of our mentals, we're hanging out with our friends. No, it's not grumpy. To me, it's just, let's not shame people for how they operate.
Fair. We shan't shame.
The seize the day people are always looking at the others like,
see, that's you shaming.
You're wasting the day.
You're shaming them.
No. See, you're shaming us.
I get my recharge from being at brunch with my friends on a nice weather day, whether we're sitting outside or the sun is shining inside. One of many reasons I love 60 Vines, because you could be inside and still get that kind of outsidey feeling. And you just cheers with mimosas to the girls and say, man, I remember when, like I said, my first job, I was making $23,500 for the year. And I cheers to my girls, and I know I can enjoy this brunch, and I don't have to look at my bank account immediately. I think that these moments, for me at least, all of these moments are a celebration of the freedom that comes with the hard work that came along the way.
Yeah.
Because I remember when these moments were hard to come by, between the job and the lack of money, and to now be able to enjoy a good weather day and be around people that I love and not be stressed out. That is my recharge. So I understand what you're saying, but to me, sitting on the couch watching the sunshine outside would feel like I'm missing something, as opposed to spending the day loving on my friends, having them love on me, laughing, and just kind of looking outside and being like, man, I'm just happy to be here.
I get that. I do get it.
That's my recharge.
I understand it. Just for me, sometimes
just
I'm
don't
like,
shame you.
Just
enjoy the
just
couch,
let us
friend.
be.
Enjoy the couch.
And I say all that, and any of my friends who actually know me would laugh because they're like, "You're never here. You're always doing something."
See?
So it's not. So that's why it feels different. It's like I pick a couple weekends in a year that I'm like, don't ask me to do anything.
You're in the house.
It's like, otherwise, I'm like, we got plans after this, especially now with this podcast. Like, I'm shooting on a Saturday. We're going to do this. Like, we're out. Like, we're doing stuff. But that's my little.
That's fair.
Traveling.
Okay.
A travel queen. You and I talked about this early.
Yes.
You're like, I like to travel. And I'm like, we can talk about travel.
Yeah, I love to travel.
Did you travel well, now that I understand that there's 11 of you, did you travel a lot as kids?
Yes.
Or where did this come from?
No, we did. So my immediate family is spread across 5 countries. So my sister's in Jamaica. My grandmother, before she passed, was in the Bahamas. I have aunts and cousins in Canada. I have cousins and aunts in London. So just as a child, even just to see my sister, even if we skip all of the further away places, we would bop around to Jamaica and the Bahamas all the time as children.
Okay.
So once I got to the point where I could afford to travel as a journalist, because again, first couple of years, big broke. But once I kind of got to the point where I could recapture that. Also, before I get to that point, when I was in college, I studied abroad and lived in London for a year.
Oh, sick.
And that was incredible. And while I was in London, I went to Paris and I went to Amsterdam and I went to Belfast, North Ireland. And, I got a chance to see these places that, we're just so different from Miami of all
Absolutely.
places. So, and so different from Jamaica and the Bahamas, places that were known to me at that point in my life. So now, since then, I've gotten to travel a good bit now. Now it's like I've been to, goodness, I'm over 20 countries now.
Okay.
Most recently, I just went back to Mexico for New Year's, but like, like last year, I did Iceland, I did Ghana, I did Paris. The
Okay.
year
I
before,
love Paris.
I didn't love Paris. And I've been twice. Paris didn't really do it for me.
I've
But
been twice and I like it both times.
I realize I need to probably go to Paris with someone who speaks French. The language barrier is very thick there, and they're not. It's just my experience, but I do want to give it another shot.
Wait, hold on. Finish your. You said the language barrier, and they're not very
Receptive to people who don't speak French.
This is okay.
There are
This is
places
consistent
where
for everybody.
there
But
are places that like they expect, and not that they're supposed to bow
Right,
down
right.
to people who don't speak French. I completely understand.
Yeah.
But it makes it hard to navigate because I don't speak a lick of French. Like Spanish, I'm not fluent, but I can
You can get
navigate.
by.
I'm from Miami. I can,
Yeah. Some
but
Spanglish.
I can figure out what
Yeah.
to do in Spanish. But in French, I am completely handicapped
See,
with French.
the reason I'm always everyone says this, and I know it to like it to me, everyone's not just lying. So it's
Right.
very true to a certain extent. For some reason though, we had a ball
I
in
love-
Paris
I
and
wish
like
I
did
did.
not have like people were willing to help us. And I remember coming back and I'm like, this is so different. Because the first time I went, I was in college, 20, with my parents. We were we
Very
had
different
spent Christmas in Nigeria and we stopped in Paris for 3 days on our way back. It's a different experience. Going with my wife a couple years ago, like I remember people just like I had so much fun there. Like I'm a bourbon guy, bought a whole bunch of
Me
bourbon
too.
in one
I'm a
store.
bourbon girl.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
big time.
Well, I bought 7 bottles of bourbon.
Nice.
And they have La Mason de Whiskey. They're partners with Buffalo Trace. And so they get their own special selection of
That's awesome.
Blantons and all this stuff.
I love Blantons.
So I called my boys. I'm like, hey, who needs bottles? Flew back with 7 bottles. Well, I spent so much money in there. They're like, hey, I'm walking on the door and I just hear my friend. And I turn around and he was like, we have another location with a bar. Here's a token, get you a free drink. So I got like
that's
this gold.
awesome.
So like that's like the experience we
had a
had
very
in
warm
Paris.
reception,
Yeah, like
yeah.
very, very warm. And I haven't been able to figure out why because I'm like,
That's good fortune, though.
yeah, like it's just we had so much fun.
No, that's
like we had
awesome.
we went
I
to
wa- I
restaurants that were
really
treated
do-
nicely.
I really do want to give Paris another shot, but I realize it probably served me best to go with someone who spoke the language just so that could be removed.
Yeah.
But, it's.
Okay,
it's just-
so
yes.
Europe, you've done a lot of Europe.
I've done a lot of Europe.
With
2
a
years
study
ago-
abroad.
Yeah, and then 2 years ago, so my best friend is actually the morning anchor at Channel 9, Deneige Broom.
Okay.
People often think that we're like enemies, and
Competitors.
I'm like, we
They're watching too much of the morning show.
like,
that's
is that what it is? I've never seen it.
Yeah,
But- but we're
the morning
all-
show, all the different
Yeah, like it's a
stations are
turf
all
war,
like,
and
yeah.
I'm like, it's not. Like Deneige is my best friend, Erica Bryant. That's my sorority sister. She's fabulous. We're trying to get together for lunch soon. Alicia Barnes over at Queen City News is a delight. I mean, so we're all friends. We all have each other's numbers.
Yeah.
We all root for each other. We're all pretty solid. But either way, Deneige and I 2 years ago, we did a European cruise, which was amazing. We did Dubrovnik and Split in Croatia. We did Athens, Zakynthos, and Mykonos, Greece. We did Kotor, Montenegro. It was and ended in Venice, and that was
How does
phenomenal.
that work though? Like on a cruise? So are you
Yeah.
sleeping? You're sleeping on the boat.
Yep, every night. So you have like a full day, and some will do overnights in certain places.
See, and that was gonna be my question because some
The
of these
one we
cities
did
I
did
want
not.
to I want to experiencing cities. Thailand is one for example. The city, when I say comes alive at night,
Yeah.
New York is active and then just gets more active.
Right,
Thailand, some of these streets would be
sleepy during the day, and then
sleepy. But we did a food tour, started at 4, not a lot in the street.
right.
Come back around by 7, and I
Jumping.
mean bustling. Cart after cart after cart after thousands of people all
awesome.
for miles. And it's like I'm always cautious of those like cruises where you're not there overnight because like I want to see what the city is
You
like.
wanna see 24 hours.
Yeah, at night.
So I usually am not a cruise person. Deneige and I discussed it at great length because neither of us are habitually cruise people. But what I think the blessing is that it almost gives you a sample taste. It's kind of like the food court sampler, because I never would think to go to Kotor, Montenegro.
Yeah.
You know, but or Zakynthos, Greece. Like everyone thinks of Greece, you think of Athens, Mykonos, Santorini.
Yeah.
So it gives you the opportunity to see things that you maybe would not have seen, and gives you just enough exposure to things you might be curious about
Yeah.
to say, I would make a full trip to Mykonos.
Yeah.
You know, so Kotor is a place I'll probably never go again, but I'm so thankful I went. I learned about a culture that is not my own and got to learn so much. But at the same time, I came away from the cruise saying, I always wanted to go to Croatia, but now I'm like, I could probably pass on a full trip to Croatia,
Yeah.
but I would spend significant time in Mykonos.
Yeah.
Like it gives you exposure.
You know
and
where you can
enough-
go back.
Exactly.
Okay.
And places that you can skip.
Yeah.
That same year I did Bali. We had a long layover in Singapore and in Doha, Qatar, which were all amazing as well. So I mean, traveling is definitely my jam. This year, I'm supposed to go to Nigeria for the first time. Like I said,
Are you going with the Nigerian?
Yes.
Okay, that's a very important
I know.
question.
I know.
Very important question.
My best friend from high school is actually getting married, and he moved back to Nigeria a little bit before COVID.
Wow.
And so he's kind of coordinating the whole thing for me. So I'm gonna go down for his wedding. And so Ghana was my first time in Africa last year, and then Nigeria this year, and then a couple of other trips I have planned, mostly for weddings. I have like 3 destinations. His wedding is one of 3 destination weddings I have this year.
Fun.
So yeah.
Okay, what is your favorite place, and maybe you can pick one,
Sure.
maybe 2, favorite places you've traveled to?
Ooh. Favorite largely depends on what you're looking for.
However the 2 best trips, you think back and you say,
Best
if I could
trips.
only relive 2 trips.
Costa Rica, for sure.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. And Costa Rica is like an if you know kind of place. Everyone I know who's been, everyone agrees Costa Rica is so slept on. Because it is
people are starting to
beautiful.
talk about it
so
more.
Fun. Like Costa Rica is amazing. I mean, I loved Costa Rica so much. Oh my gosh, where else? Probably Ghana. I mean, honestly, Iceland too, though. Like Iceland, we saw the Northern Lights. Iceland, we were in Reykjavik for like a week and a half. We had some of the best food. I mean, Reykjavik is
I don't think of
insane.
Iceland and then think of good food.
Me neither. It's one of those trips where I'm gonna tell you why Iceland was so amazing is because I didn't know what my expectations were, but it exceeded my expectations.
Fair.
We didn't know what to expect. You don't need to be nicely dressed because you're just in a parka every day because it's cold. It's not freezing, but you know it's cold. And you don't really know what to expect. You just come outside and just let the night take you, and everyone is just so cool. It's very like Viking heavy, a lot of stews and hearty foods like that. We went to a Michelin star restaurant there called Sumac. It was I want to say Lebanese food. We ate everything on the menu and everything was phenomenal. So Iceland was just such a surprise. We went to the Blue Lagoon and the Sky Lagoon, which are 2, like the kind of think like a hot water spring
the
kind
Blue
of thing.
Lagoon I've seen, really cool.
Yeah, with the clay on the face. We did all of that. We hiked this thing. We saw waterfalls and geyser, and I mean it's just a beautiful country, beautifully run country. I mean it's such a cool place. Everyone is awesome. Ghana was just unreal. Ghana, we were there for maybe 12
December?
days.
Were you there in
I
December?
did not do Dirty December.
okay.
I did it in October.
Okay.
And I got I went to met Queen Mother and got my African name and all this. I mean, it was just.
How many men proposed to you while you were there?
0.
That is very wow.
I think that's a Nigerian thing.
No, it's also hey.
But-
That's also a Canadian thing.
But
I've
I
had
had a
friends that
wonderful
went
time.
back and they're like, yeah, there are a lot of men that are like, I'll make you my wife, but I'm
Oh,
just
maybe
like,
I'm not
yeah.
their type. I didn't get any proposals. No.
West African men love to.
yeah.
Yeah, when you're there, they love to just be proposing. Like,
No, I didn't get that
I'll make you
experience.
my wife. You don't have to work. Come, honey.
Yeah, no.
Come, baby.
I'm
like
good.
that's their.
I'm good. Thank you.
That's their go-to.
Like, and they would keep asking, like, there were men who asked me what my name was, and I told them the name that Queen Mother gave me. I would say, Okosio from Boma. And they were like, oh! And because I didn't tell anyone my name, I gave them my African name. But but either way, Ghana was unreal in so many ways. It was beautiful. The food was great. I ate my weight in suya. I mean, it was just so good.
Their jollof rice is okay.
I know that the jollof rice wars between Nigerians
okay.
and Ghana,
It's okay.
I know. But yeah, so I mean, there are so many places I've been. I feel very fortunate to have been to the places
So,
I've been.
give me 2 places that if you could only travel to 2 places that you haven't been, top of your list, where are you going?
Oh, that I haven't been. There are so many places I haven't been.
Like your top 2, like I want to go.
Oh man, that's a really Spain for sure.
Okay.
Oh goodness, top of my list that I really I want to go everywhere. That's my problem. That is Dubai.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spain and
I'll say
Dubai.
UAE because I want to also do
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say UAE and Spain. Those are two
Okay.
countries that are high on my bucket list.
My
Yeah.
wife would definitely say Australia and New
I
Zealand.
do want to go to New Zealand.
That
I
that,
want to
that
see a haka in person very badly.
I watched one this morning.
They give me goosebumps every
I
time.
get goosebumps and almost cry. And
It's
like,
very
there's not a
emotional.
lot that makes me like
Emotional.
emotional to like tears.
There's something about it that even though you don't understand it, you
It
don't know the
is,
meaning, it's moving even
yeah.
as an outsider. Hakas, I would love if I saw a haka in person, I know I'd be crying.
Like
I
it
know
just,
I'd be crying
I'm glad you said that. I get chills every time, and I'm
every
like,
single time.
this is one of the most beautiful things,
I
and
have so much reverence for it. Oh my
something
goodness.
about it feels like I don't like archaic in like it's got to be like within something about
I
what
know
they're
what you
saying
mean.
is like
I
within
know what you
us
mean.
or like
There's
within
some
them.
interconnectivity there.
Yeah, because like for me to not understand it, what you're
But still
saying,
have the
but still like, and every single I've seen them
I
for
can't scroll
funerals
past
and
them.
weddings, and I watch them
If I
all the
catch
way
them on
through.
Twitter, I have to stop and watch the whole thing.
Like
I can't move past a haka.
it's beautiful.
It's so moving.
Italy would be my spot.
Yeah.
Italy, I want to
I
go
definitely
eat.
want to spend more time in Italy. So we just did Venice, but I definitely want to go back. And Venice, I'm glad that we were only there for a day
Yeah.
because it's not a place that I think I need to personally be there for like an elongated period of time. But I definitely want to go back and just bop around for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna start wrapping up, but
Okay.
I still got some questions for you.
Oh gosh. Okay.
You are
A multidimensional shiny mouse.
probably riding one of the biggest highs of your life right now, as and well deserved.
Thank you.
Um, what would you say that you have learned about yourself on your journey? I feel like I've gotten a really fun understanding of who you are and the multidimensional person that you are. But like, what would you say you have learned the most about yourself from child of immigrant Jamaican parents to Emmy award-winning journalist? What?
Um, what would I have learned? What would I say I've learned about myself? It kind of I'm gonna connect this to a conversation we had earlier on about confidence versus comfort, and that is that comfort is probably better than confidence. I'm someone who played in the theoretical sandbox by myself when I didn't want to play in the sandbox by myself. And now that I'm older, and now that I have a career that is respected and, you know, acknowledgement and all these other things, now, especially in today's world where we are so obsessed with likes and follows
Yeah.
and, you know, that kind of affirmation, when you had to play in the sandbox by yourself, you learn to not seek out that affirmation from others. And it makes it easier to move with conviction. Not because, and the reason why I separate that from confidence is because it's not that I look in the mirror and think that I'm the greatest at anything. I have a lot of work to do. You know, I make mistakes. I make mistakes on air. I mean, you know, we're all just flawed human beings. But I think that when you learn to be comfortable in the sandbox by yourself by force, that now in a world where people are so hungry for affirmation, it creates a better peace for me to not need that affirmation.
Yeah.
I am very okay with the person that I am,
I
whether
see that
people
all
like
the
me
time.
or they don't, because you realize the number one thing that you realize, and you realize it even more being quote unquote public figure, you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea.
Yep.
For whatever reason that may be, because I'm not from Charlotte, because I'm Jamaican, because I'm whatever. There are a million reasons why someone might decide that they're not a fan of Shevaun, and they have every right to feel that way. But I think that
You don't let that affect you.
and if I wasn't such a loner by force when I was younger, I don't know that I would be so okay with that now.
Yeah.
So now it's like people are like, but you have X many followers and you have, and none of that matters to me.
Yeah.
I just want to be a good person, and I just want to be good to the people around me, and I just want to be a positive person, and I just want to seize the day, and I just
Yeah.
want to find a reason to laugh and smile. And, you know, I just, like, to me, that is what matters the most. And I think that I feel very fortunate that even though it was hard for me as a 15-year-old, that experience at 14, 15, 16 paved the way for a much more comfortable existence
Yeah.
at 34. So I, like, there was a post I, you know, like those posts you see on Facebook where it says, what are 4 words that you can tell your younger self.
Oh man, that was literally my next question for you.
And oh, was it?
Yeah, like literally my next question was, what if you were to talk to 18 to 22
Yeah.
college you?
Yeah. What
What
would you
are
tell yourself?
well, one, what's a piece of advice you would tell yourself?
Invest.
But and the let's start with that. What's the piece of advice you would tell yourself? College you.
Man. College me would be trust the process. You know, I had a lot of doubt, just because news is challenging, especially the low salary and stuff like that when you first start out. Very much trust the process. When I think of me at like 2021, I was in a pretty good headspace at that point. So I was, you know, but it would be just to trust the process. I think, as cliche as that is.
The second question to that same young Shevaun.
Yeah.
What would be the flex you would share with her? Besides the Emmy.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Besides the Emmy, what would you tell her? Like, hey, girl, like we're doing our future us, or like we're doing
like
all
we're
right.
good.
Like,
we're
yeah.
good.
What is that?
Well, so the Facebook post when I shared it, my answer was, because it was 4 words that you would tell your younger self, and what I put was, "You're yet to bloom." That's what I put. But if I had to talk to 13 to 16-year-old me, I would want her to know that what she's feeling right there is temporary, and that even though she won't be able to see it, it's going to pay dividends in the future. And that's something that I even tell to like any younger women that I meet now. I have a bunch of nieces and nephews, mostly nephews. I only have 2 nieces, and I have like 11.
Flipped in the generations, huh?
Just the boys just dominate the Bryan family. It's insane.
Wait, you said you have a few nieces,
Very
a whole
few
bunch
nieces.
of nephews.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's just boys everywhere. It's
wow.
insane. Just so many boys. But you know, I share that with women now, is like, because that age, and all girls know that 11 to 17 range is rough. Yeah. And it's self-imposed. We do it to each other. We do it to ourselves. And you know, I try to make sure that I let women in that age group know that this is temporary. Yeah. And it's hard to see it because at that age, everything feels so permanent. But what is the flex? I mean, I would tell her everything that you really, really want, because I just wanted to be a journalist who made a livable salary in a city that I liked and had friends that I cared about. Like, I don't dream of being Beyonce. Like, I never was like that kind of person. I didn't want to be a rock star. And I would want to just tell her, like, it's coming. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that comfort that you're looking for is coming.
Yeah. I think 18 to 22-year-old me, I would tell him, accept yourself.
Yeah.
Like, the sooner, I think that was the biggest adjustment. The sooner I could accept all of who I was, the easier.
100%.
Like you said, I am perfectly okay with being me. Second thing, marry that girl. And or that would be the flex. The flex would be like,
you married the girl.
Like, she stayed.
Like you got the girl.
Like, she stayed. That would be the flex. That would absolutely be the flex. We enjoy it now. We look back and we're like, you said, like, when you're talking about like the salary, like our dates were to the dining hall, like meal plan money.
Listen.
And now we go out and we're in Salt Lake, or we're here, or we're in
and
Thailand,
you can, like, really
and we're like,
experience things. Like, look how far we've come.
I'm like, 19-year-old us would not believe what is happening right now. Like,
Denasia and I had that exact conversation on the cruise ship, because we were pulling out of one of these destinations, and we were just like, cheers to the starving journalist. Because here we are on a European cruise in the middle of the Aegean Sea, flowing into the Mediterranean Sea, you know, sipping champagne, watching the sunset over Santorini, and we're just like, remember that time we didn't even make $25,000? Remember that time? What a time! Yeah, living off ramen, like, right. And it's just like, how can you not just be grateful? Like, I think that's kind of my big thing, is just like, I have so much gratitude right now. Like, and not even before the Emmy, of course, I've just been really in a season of gratitude. And it's just been...
That's one season I believe should never just be a season.
Amen.
But should be
100%
a mentality and something that we embrace in life throughout.
Seriously, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? We've all had the ups and downs and whatever, and the doubt and, the challenges at work. We've all dealt with those
Yeah.
things, but I think that, like, it's just been, yeah, like the gratitude has been something that has kind of eclipsed my life a lot in the last like year and a half. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. I've enjoyed it. I told you it'd be fun. We're just gonna
I was
hang
so
out.
nervous.
We're just. She said she was nervous, and
I
I'm
was
like, why are you
nervous
gonna be nervous?
because I'm not used to being the subject. Journalists stay away from being the subject.
You
We're
guys,
not the story.
You need your flowers in your story. Your stories are to be told too, because you tell other people's. We need to know your stories. So that is what
Thank you.
we get to do here. Where can the people find you?
Out the country.
Where can they find Emmy Award-winning journalist Shevaun Bryan weekly? Let them know. I don't know if a lot of people are watching local news. I personally
Most
don't
people are.
much.
A lot of people watch online or streaming now, so we're streaming and stuff. I mean, a lot of people still do watch on TV, but
night of the
there
week.
is a growing streaming and YouTube and all sorts of
Yeah.
stuff, and we're in all of those places. But I'm on WBTV Monday through Friday. I do the 4, 5, 6, and 11 p.m. shows Monday through Friday.
Okay. All right.
It's hard to miss me.
Social media.
Yes, Shevaun_Bryan on Twitter,
X.
on Instagram, Threads as well. Yeah, I'm not on TikTok. Never had one.
Me either.
Just never got on TikTok. But
The podcast has one that my wife so kindly runs. But
There you
I
go.
take after Vine to Instagram, I wasn't going one more
Oh,
step. That was
Vine.
rest in peace.
pour one out for Vine. What a time. Do it for the Vine. I ain't gonna do
I
it.
ain't gonna do it.
What a time.
But thank you so much. I appreciate it hanging out. This has been a lot of
This has
fun,
been
and
fun.
I love the positivity and the energy you have, and the self-reflection that like you're very honest with yourself.
Thank you.
And I hope that people see this and evaluate their life, not evaluate from a negative standpoint,
Right.
but just evaluate and soak up the good, the bad, what you
I hope I
learned.
put out
and-
something positive. I've always believed authenticity ages well.
Yes.
And gratitude is always in style.
You'll never have regrets being yourself.
100%.
So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
y'all for tuning in. Please go support Emmy Award-winning journalist.
Please.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.